Welcome to Mindset Check, where we come together to get our mind right. Today is the first time that we are going live on YouTube, and we have Coach Mel here, who is a master energy and mindset coach. How would you say that?
Energy mindset coach.
Energy mindset coach. You guys already know that your mindset and your attitude is everything in life. And today we're going to talk about negative belief systems and how they impact you. And that's kind of like right up Mel's alley. Uh, I like reading a lot of science on the mindset. You know how I am, Mel. And
hmm
some of the studies that I read are quite interesting. I found one not too long ago, about 2, 3 weeks ago, that I was reading, and it was actually about fleas. and they and they took this fleas and they put them in an environment, and the environment was a jar. Now, a lot of scientific environments where or studies where they take people or animals and they put them in a different environment than they're used to, and then they
Right.
study their behavior and how they interact and how the different environment affects them and imprints on them, especially their kids. So they take these fleas, and this flea could jump 3 feet straight up in the air. Right now, just to give you an idea how powerful that is, if we scaled this flea up to the size of a human being, they would literally be able to jump over Empire State Buildings. I mean, that's nuts, right?
Right.
So they put
Right.
this flea inside this jar, and it literally could jump 3 feet up in the air. But the jar is only about 6 inches. And they put a few of them in there, and they put a lid on there, and then they watch them. The first thing this flea knows is I can jump 3 feet in the air. So
hmm
they jump, and the first thing that happens, bam, they hit their head on the lid. And so they jump again and again, bam, bam, they're hitting their head on this lid. Well, eventually they have babies, and the babies are watching their parents. Now, again, this parent can jump 3 feet in the sky. So can the baby. But all they see is their parents jumping just high enough where they're not hitting their head anymore.
Right.
Right? Now,
Right.
eventually they take the lid off, and they take these baby fleas out, and they set them out, and they observe them. And remember, these things could jump 3 feet in the sky, but they only jump 6 inches. And it's
Right.
become literally a, a negative self belief that that's all they can do. Now, people would ask me, why would you bring that up on this show? and my and I would tell you, how is it with Johnny when he comes home from school? Johnny comes home from school, and his mom and dad tells him, hey, there, you can do anything you want, Johnny. You're such a smart kid. You're so talented. And Johnny thinks his parents are superstars. To him, they're his
hmm
heroes. To him, they're like that flea that can jump 3 feet up in the sky, right? And so he's thinking they can do anything. And then they come home from work, and what's the first thing they usually do? They complain about their day, they scroll Facebook, they Netflix, and they chill, and they don't do anything. Bam.
Right.
They just hit the lid of that jar. And the kids watching them hitting that lid and hitting that lid, and then jumping to where it's just below the lid where they literally gave up. And in that kid's mind, whether it's conscious or subconscious, he's thinking, they're telling me I can do anything I want in the world, that I'm that capable. But my mom and my dad are the smartest and most strongest in the world, and this is all they can do. And that's like a
hmm
nice side of it. What about when Johnny goes to the store with his mom, and he's like, Mom, can I get that new toy? And she's like, No, Johnny. And he's like, Why? And she's like, Because, you know, money doesn't grow on trees. How many times have you heard
Yeah.
that? Or he
Yeah.
asks his dad for a bike, and his dad's like, What do you think I'm made of, money? And he hears this over and over and over again. And as he grows up, he's going to think things like money's hard to get, it's scarce, you got to work hard for money. And
hmm
that's just the nice side of it. What if he saw a lot of traumatic things in his life? What do you think about that, Mel? How would that imprint on him?
Well, everything that you're talking about is trauma. It's trauma in itself. Whether we think it's bad trauma is like us right now thinking, well, is not buying a bike bad? Is that bad trauma? It's trauma because there's limiting beliefs. So what happens is from 0 to 7 years old, we are conditioned to feel and think the way we do by what we see, what we hear, and what we experience. So Johnny is watching his parents saying, you can do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to show you, you really can't. We really have limitations. We really decide what we're going to do. So when he grows up, whether he has that bike or not, when he grows up, he's going to be like, well, my parents only did this. They came home, they didn't do anything, they sat on the couch. You know what he's going to do? If he doesn't change his mindset and grow from that, he's going to repeat the same thing. And then when he grows up or he wants to buy things at the store, he's going to be like, well, I really don't have the money for it. Really, should I buy it? And then when he has kids, guess what he's going to do? He's going to tell exactly the same thing to his,
What do
son
you
or
think
daughter,
I'm made
saying,
of money?
exactly. Well, and that causes, which is really bad, working with business owners, is the lack of having money, right? The
Hmm.
lack of wealth, right? So if you have a lack of wealth when you are growing up, you are going to have the lack of wealth mindset when you grow up. So you're going to have to either work as hard as your parents. You're going to have a couple jobs because you think you can only make that money with a couple jobs. You're never going to be able to spend stuff on yourself because you're going to feel guilty. It goes on and on and on. Just the mindset, the conditioning, the past. We call this past trauma. It's also child conditioning. But what child conditioning does is cause past trauma because all we do is create limiting beliefs.
Hmm.
Limiting beliefs that we can't do specific things because not because we don't think we can, because we watch everybody else not do it. So that's where we
Yeah.
get the past trauma.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. If you were going to talk to the people, someone that was watching us today one on one, and they were telling you about some of these self limiting beliefs or even negative self talk that comes
Hmm.
from that belief
Hmm.
system, what would you give them, like a little, we'll say, exercise or tip that would help them out?
In my first session, when I'm meeting with my clients, and that's what I do, I work with business owner executive teams. The first thing I would do is ask them, what are your goals? And then work backwards, because if you know your goals and you know you're not reaching them, the only thing stopping you is the limiting beliefs, period, end of story.
Hmm.
You've already created a storyline in your head that I can only do this much. I would like to manifest more things, I would like these goals, but I don't know how to get out of my own way.
Yeah.
The second thing I would ask is, what is your why? Are you in the right business? What is your passion? Does your passion match your why? Because if
Right.
you're doing something you really hate, like your parents, you're doing a job that you really hate, like your parents, you are not going to be abundant doing that, right? Because
No.
you have to enjoy the service to get the money, not the other way around. You have to be passionate of what you do and want to do it, not go to work and say, I'm just going to work to get paid to pay my bills. There's no abundance there. That's not abundance mindset. That's a lack of, I just do this to get this. So
Right.
if people are doing that out right now, you really need to look at your life right now and go, am I doing what I love? Because I meet with people that have 5 niches and they go, I want to do this, 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 and this. I go, oh no, you got to find your passion in one. In one niche, you got to find your
One.
passion. Yep. And I could do that in 3 weeks. What is your passion? We'll get down to it. Like, why do you want to do all these 10 things? That's just giving, 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 right? There's no reward back. You have to when people try to do 10 jobs, this is what I say.
Hmm.
They're giving. They're in the mindset of giving but not getting. And that is a past trauma thing. That is not because you want to help everyone on the face of the earth. That is because I have to give myself to feel like I deserve to have something back. And that is not the
Ooh,
case.
it's
Yeah.
not the
Uh,
case.
no, but it's a real thing with people that go, well, I do all these things. And I go, but why? Why not do a few things? Why not do a couple things? What's the reason behind that? It's not because you're passionate about all the things. The thing is, you're passionate about serving. But is your mindset right when you're serving? What is the purpose of serving? Is it to make you feel better? Do you feel guilty about something? There's something else that's going on when people give too much of themselves. And you have to have that balance. You have to have that balance in life.
Right. Right. Now, would you say that possibly some of these belief systems are so deep that there's triggers that could set it off, and maybe some sort of subconscious reaction that would happen that they got to kind of get past before they can manifest what it is that they want to do?
Absolutely. Yep.
Let me say, If you had a client and they're sitting down right in front of you and you wanted to help them get past of some of those triggers so that they could kind of clear up some of that cluttered bad energy and focus like you were talking about, what's a really good exercise that you would give them?
Well, in my course, after we talk about our goals, we just go into the past trauma. That's like my second session. And I say, okay, why do you have these limiting beliefs? And then we're going to go with your relationship with your parents, with your siblings, with
Mhm.
your teachers, with bullies in school, whatever it is. Because here's the thing, when you feel negative about anything in life, you are triggered on a past emotion. You are not creating that in your current state. There is nothing in your conscious state that says, I feel negative. What happens when someone says something or triggers, like Johnny heard, gonna get the bike. He got triggered, right? He goes back to those negative emotions. That is
Mm.
what's causing the trauma. That's what's triggered every time. So when everybody feels, I don't feel good today, I'm kind of feeling sad, I don't feel like I can make money today, I don't think I'm going to land those clients, that is not you today. That is what somebody else taught you to be. And that's the limiting beliefs that you have to get over. So when we do that, when we talk about it, I tell them, okay, you know what your emotions are, you know who's showing up, because there's that one person in your life, in your whole life, that shows up on a negative aspect more than others. Sometimes it's a mom, sometimes it's a dad. But here's the thing, when people don't get what they want, it's one negative mindset. I don't feel worthy, period. I never was loved enough. I don't feel worthy. I don't think I'm good enough. These
Mm.
are the recurring limiting beliefs we keep telling ourselves. And it's not even that you're telling yourself out loud. In your mind, your subconscious mind is saying,
Right.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can. And, you know, whether you think you can or can't, you're right, because your thoughts, your feelings, your words, your actions create energy, either positive or negative. So, what's your energy today? Is it negative? Because there's a lot of chaos going on. This is the overthinkers. This is when people just can't get out of their head. That's chaos. But when you can really think of what's my plan first, I'm being triggered. This is like the exercise you do. Okay, when you're feeling triggered, one, take a breath. What does that emotion remind you of? It kind of reminds me of when I had to do this in the past and I didn't like it, right? Okay, who's showing up?
Ooh.
Who's showing up with that negative mindset? Because that is going to be the trigger there that you're like, oh my gosh, my that person is coming into my life right now. And that's when you reframe the mindset of that is not me. That's my not my authentic self. That is somebody else coming in to put those limiting beliefs that they already had on themselves and they put them on me. So it's really just the ball and chain effect of
So
cutting
we
that
want
loose.
to, I want to clarify that when you're asking them who comes to mind,
Hmm.
you're asking them who do they see when they think of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
It's
could be
always,
your dad, it could
yep.
be your neighbor, it could have been some friend of yours when you were, 6 years old. It's
Yeah.
who came to mind when you felt
Hmm.
that way.
Yep.
Right? Is that right?
That is correct. But
Nice.
you have to understand how your story plays out, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to know the root of the problem. And that's really what I get. There's mindset coaches out there that say, just think positive, do your affirmations, know you're good enough. But if you don't find the root of the problem, who caused that, which I do, that is what is the game changer. Because once
Just
you
gonna keep
realize,
going through it
yeah,
over and over and over
yes.
again.
Once you know it's not you, once you know it's not you, it's something that just was put on you to believe, right? You can now reframe your mindset and
You're
go, I
free.
want a new belief today. I don't want my dad's belief. I don't want my mom's belief. I don't want the bully's beliefs in school. Whatever it is, right? I want my belief. What do I believe today? That I'm good enough, not because they didn't tell me I wasn't good enough, because I feel it. And then you start healing, right? You got to heal the past, forgive the past. And a lot of people are
Yes.
saying, I don't want to
Yes.
forgive the past. And I go, forgiveness is not forgetting. Okay.
No.
Just make, we already know we're never going to forget, but forgiveness is releasing so
Mhm.
you can have the manifestation energy that everybody wants, right?
Right.
But you can't do it still being stuck in the past, pissed off at something in your life,
No,
right?
you
You can't do
can't.
it. Yeah.
That's so good. That's
Yeah.
awesome, Mel. I love that little exercise you came up with. I'm going to try that out myself for sure.
I still do it today. Sometimes when I'm feeling not wonky, I go, where's that coming from? Who's coming in? I need to reframe my mindset.
Yeah,
And then
because
I
it's
know
them,
it's like,
not me.
no, it's not
You,
you.
I'm glad you brought that up because here's my next question for you. Mel, you're a life coach and you know that you're going to have bad days too. So
Yep.
let's say you're just having one, man. Everything's going wrong. You woke up, you stepped on a your kid's toy dinosaur, you fell over and smashed your head or something, just started out bad and you're just cranky. What is something that you do when you realize like you're going in the wrong direction to kind of like, whoa, stop, give yourself a mindset check and bring it back?
Well, I might eat chocolate first before I go Trauma if I had to do that, or ice cream. But
Yeah.
when I'm having a bad day, I believe in law of attraction.
Mhm.
So I believe there's always a bigger force out there. It doesn't matter who everyone thinks or attaches to. I say universe because I believe in everything. Everyone's going to help me out when I'm having a bad day. So one thing that I do teach all my clients, whether you're spiritual or not, religion doesn't really matter. When you're trying to manifest and do something and get something, you have to believe in a higher source. So, what do you believe in? If I believe I'm having a hard day and I know the universe has my back, and you hear that over everything now, the universe has your back.
Right.
People need to tap into that because I tell my clients this, and this is how they manifest. I just say, having a bad day, universe, you have my back, help me out. And you will feel that energy of release come in, and they will
Right.
send you signs if you're someone that looks for signs. And I always say, if you really don't believe in the universe, I want you to do something before you go to bed. I say, ask for a sign for something. I don't care what it is. Ask for an animal, um, insect, a number. I want you to ask the universe, show me this tomorrow. And you will see that if you really truly believe. And those non believers, because this is how I started. I was like, I sarcastically asked for a sign and I got it an hour later. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
there's something
Ooh.
to be about this manifestation stuff. That really got my wheels
Got you
flowing, right?
thinking a little bit.
Right. But when people are like close to that, there's so much abundance in the universe to be had, and that's what they don't understand.
Mhm.
But it's more today, after COVID, after everyone getting stuck in their house, everyone is more open to the mindset of, you know what? Why not? Why not
Why
believe
not?
in something?
Why
So I
not?
tell my clients that when you're having a bad day, say, universe, you have my back, and keep on manifesting. That's the whole point. You get your best friend, your problem, that's just always there. They hear you, they come in, and they go, universe, you have my back, just help me out. Everything flows better. Even when you're in your business, you're just like, I wish I
Right.
would have a couple clients, universe, you have my back. And then all of a sudden you have two requests sitting in your inbox. It happens that fast because you believe. You have to believe to receive. So, universal law, if your vibration is high and you're feeling good about yourself, here it comes. The things are coming that you want. But if you're low and you have the limiting beliefs just circling around your head, it
Hmm.
can't come. It's snail mail. So you have to create the energy to one, believe in yourself, two, know the root of the problem, and three, want to be ready to manifest. Because when you have all those three, you have build momentum and you can't be stopped at that point. It's
Yeah.
your mindset.
That last little phrase where you said wanting to be ready, I find that to be the part that limits a lot of people because they have that, like we were talking about, those negative self-limiting belief systems,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
they're so deep in their
Hmm.
conscious mind's like, oh yeah, I want the car, I want the job, I want the thing,
Yeah.
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 But their subconscious is like, yeah, no, bud. And
Yeah.
it just
Because
doesn't happen.
we're so comfortable being in a negative mindset is a problem. We're so
Right.
used to being that. And even when I go in discovery calls and people say, "Oh, I'm all in, Coach Mel," and I'm like, "Great, let's get you started." The next
Hmm.
day they'll think about overnight. They'll go, "I'm not ready."
Yeah.
You have to understand this is self-sabotage. It's not that I'm a bad coach. It's because their subconscious mindset has taken over and said,
Mm.
"Do not change. It's all talk, self-talk. Don't change. You're used to being, not going anywhere. Why change now?" You have to like realize, okay, who is that? Who's that coming in? Because
Right.
that is
Who
not
is it?
who I want to be. Yeah, I
Hmm.
want so much more. You have to get over that. You have to heal yourself. And that really is what my program brings, of taking the journey of what do you want? What do you want to manifest?
Yeah.
What's blocking you? Are you aligned for success? Are you aligned as a leader? Are you aligned as a manifester? Are you aligned to your mission statement in life, like life
Right.
or job? If you're not, then guess what? There's a self-sabotage and you're never going to move. But you are the only one that can make yourself move, not anybody else with your
Right.
mindset. You got to change it. You got to want it. You have to desire it. And you also have to ask for help. Ask for a sign. I mean, when I finished my accreditation, I heard the voice saying, "You need to open your business." And I said, "Heck no, 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 no. Never had a business before, right?" And I did it. I said, "Align me with the people." Then within a week, I was aligned with people that could help me open my business. And I was opened right after I finished school, my master's,
Yeah.
so it's you if you are quiet enough and you listen, things are going to come to you. You're going to hear your intuition, not only like the universe, you're going to hear your intuition saying, it's time. It's time to move forward, right?
Right.
You just need to
Right.
get out of your rut, right? Who wants to be in that mindset of, you know, we love our parents, but they had conditioning, they conditioned us. Do we want to be in the negative conditioning? No. We have so much to live for, and people are just letting time pass by, just being stuck where they are because why? It's comfortable. Why? Because they don't know better. They
Yeah.
don't know where that's coming from. They don't know the root of the problem.
I agree with you. And I also agree with that statement where you said you got to kind of quiet things down a little bit.
Yes.
Because, guys, if you're just, your brain's just running on what everybody was doing on Facebook and this show and stressing about this thing you got to do and that thing that's not done yet, you're not going to hear that little voice that's going to guide you like she was talking about,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Social media is the worst. That is the worst negative thing you can be looking at. I mean, I got on TikTok and then I started looking at TikTok and I'm like, oh my goodness, I just wasted an hour of my life on this little app, right? And I really
Right.
had to take it back because even before you go to bed, they always say don't go on your phone because your subconscious mindset is just taking information
Yeah.
in,
The last
all the
15,
information,
20
right?
minutes.
Yep. You got to stop that.
Yeah.
Not and when you wake before you when you wake up, what I tell my clients is to breathe. Breathe in good energy. Breathe out the negative. As an
Yeah.
energy coach, you have to clear your
Hmm.
energy and to have a good day. And get out of your bed as today is going to be a great day. Your subconscious mind doesn't know if you're tricking them or not. Just fake it till you make it. Today is going to be an
I
amazing day. And what
I
happens?
declare that today is
Yeah,
my day.
and what happens is you already create the momentum of a positive day instead of like going out of bed and saying, I'm tired today. It's going to be the
Tired.
longest day. Yeah, and you're going
Head
to manifest
hurts.
that. You're
I
going to
just
manifest
stepped on a dinosaur. Rah.
that. Exactly. But was there a lesson in that? I don't know.
Look where you step.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah.
Oh man. So let's just ask you one more thing. Could you tell me what would be a good golden nugget that you would want to leave our viewers with today to just help them kind of keep their mind right throughout the day and give them a real quick mindset check?
The first thing I want to say, if you need the professional help to get you there, get it. There's so many
Yes.
coaches out there today that are wanting to help. Make sure you find the right coach. Say, interview with a couple coaches, see what they're all about, if they're the right fit for you. But there's so much help out there these days. You don't have to do it on your own. So that's one. Second, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Maybe you write down, one night you're just like, what are my goals? What do I want to do? And then think about it like, what's stopping me? What negative
Right.
beliefs do I have? Right? If it's about money, if it's about relationship, if it's about personal development, because I coach on all three. You have to be successful in your business, successful in you as filling your cup, and successful in your relationships for you to have a high manifesting life,
A
wealthy
holistic
life.
success.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have one subconscious mindset that's triggered all the time. So if you're not doing good at home in your relationship, guess what? You're not going to do good with your business partners
No,
or your
you're not.
employees, right? It's going
Right.
to be it's carried over that energy. So you have to be everything. But you know what? Mindset is a repetition. It's
Mhm.
like, you have to exercise to get where you want to be. You have to exercise your mindset, your
Facts.
habits. You're creating habits, right? It's creating new habits,
Building neural
not really,
pathways.
yeah, you're reframing your mindset and habits to think a different way from this day forward, not just
Yes.
right now. Just say, okay, reframe. And you know what? We're here, what, decades, decades. I mean,
Right.
I'm coaching people 20, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? Decades of this mindset of just not being happy. And then boom, once they're over it, like, I can't believe I wasted that much time being in this
Can't
mindset,
believe it.
right?
Right.
Hmm.
So I got to ask you a couple questions because we want to give Coach Mel some love so everybody can kind of look her up a little bit. Where, how long have you been a coach for?
So I've been just over a year and a half. So I started my
Nice.
journey 2019. I went to a coaching academy in the UK, which was online. So after
Nice.
work, yeah, so after my full-time job, I was going to school, homework, doing homework, and on the weekends. I finished the year course in 3 months. I finished my master accreditation in 60 days, and then I opened my business. So then I just been taking on, it's just
Yeah.
growing and growing, growing. It's manifesting itself. So I'm really happy the way it's going. But you know what? I'm a new business owner too. I have the ups and downs, and man, I'm learning lessons as I go, right? It's like
Right.
knowing your self-worth as a coach because there's so many coaches out there, but
So many.
there's just, there is, and I coach other
What's your
coaches too, but
niche?
it's just
Right.
my niche, yeah, but the niche of the past conditioning is so important when you're dealing with mindset and also when you're dealing
Oh,
with
yeah.
energy because you're clearing that, which means you're at a high vibration of feeling good about yourself, right?
Right.
That's where I want to get my clients. Yeah. And
Right.
they're just manifesting big things out of the blue, like in 2 to 3 weeks, just random things, goals, goals, goals. But it's because you have that magnet. You're a magnet now to what you desire.
Hmm.
You weren't before because you didn't think you could get them. Now that you know you're worthy of them, you love yourself. It just happens. It just comes in,
Just
and that's the
comes
best
in.
part of being a coach. I was just like, yes. They emailed me like, guess what happened today? I'm like, yes. Give
Yeah.
that testimonial. We got to hear that
Get
stuff.
all
People need to
fired
hear.
up from seeing other people's
Exactly.
success, right? That's
Exactly.
why my
Exactly.
wife and I do what we do. We like watching people get all fired up. And we've seen so many people go from, well, just total rags to riches stories,
Yeah.
and they're living their dream right now. And I
Yeah.
just couldn't be more proud of them. You know what I mean?
I know. And we
Just
need to
kicking
be more
butt.
of that. Like, so, just be really supportive. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they have this, I don't have that. Well, that's negative energy too. And
That
guess what? That's
is.
past trauma.
That
You're
is.
being
Why are you?
triggered from
You're being
something.
triggered. You should be all
You're
fired up
Johnny
for
without
them.
the bike.
You're Johnny that sees somebody rolling by in their brand new
Yeah.
bike and going, I want a
Yeah.
bike.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Mel, this was awesome. I have some news for you. We are going to
Okay.
be taking a lot of our videos and we've been turning them into NFTs. So we're
Awesome.
to help out, and we're gonna we launch them for our subscribers and for a lot of our founding members of a lot of our other groups. And I'm gonna turn this, our very first video, into an NFT, and I'm gonna hook you up, man.
Oh,
So
I
when
love it.
you're gonna get, I'm only gonna make a couple of them, so they'll be super rare. And then when you get it, you
Awesome.
can post about it, and we'll get all fired up and excited.
That's amazing. Well, I
Right?
appreciate that. And I
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
you having
awesome.
me on this. Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. You added so much value to the people on this channel, and some of the way that you think about things, the way you approach it, and some of the exercises you give your clients. It's awesome. And we really are
Thank
glad
you.
that you were able to take some time and come here and, just bless our people and give them some nuggets, man.
Thank you. And thank you for having this platform too, because people need this. They need to
Right.
have this information, right? So it's awesome
Right.
that you're taking charge and really reaching out. And I think that just speaks volumes about you as well. So I
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys, that was awesome. We see you guys next time. All right. One mind, one love.
Bye.